Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing good.
Well, good. I saw your email, read it, and
Yes, sir.
that looks fantastic as far as the pricing and stuff like that. That is great. So
Alhamdulillah.
they're not putting any minimums on
They're not.
production.
They do not do minimums.
Oh
So
wow.
that's really good about Lulu.
Ex-
So you just if you order 100 and more, you get discounts, and the more you go up,
mhm.
you get more discounts.
Okay.
So anywhere between 100 and 500 books is a 5% discount.
Okay.
And then they just charge a $1. What was it? I think it's $1 and 75 cents for fulfillment.
hmm
So basically, I said, hey, that's about $2.
Yeah.
Um, and then the shipping costs. If we
Right.
do,
So the locational shipping cost, I saw that. If they can ship to a single location, then it's pretty inexpensive.
that's correct.
Yeah. And then we would need to then make sure that we did our own shipping out to the
That
person.
is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
And if we sell at an event, the shipping cost is already added
hmm
into that
Right.
price. If we decide that, hey, we want to order, let's say a brother say, I'm just going to order a wholesale amount
hmm
from
hmm
Graceline, and they have to take care of their own shipping, right? That shipping is on them.
Okay.
And we will charge within our price structure. We have in there what it's going to cost for us to ship to them that wholesale amount.
Okay. All right.
So we just have
That's
to decide, as a group, what the price structure is going to be. I was having a conversation with Imam Mutabashir this morning, um, because he's still helping me kind of format where
hmm
everything needs to be placed. And he said that Lulu, does require the ISBN number and the barcode to be in a certain location. So he's going to help me put it where it needs to be on the cover.
okay. Okay.
So we almost there,
Yeah, we are.
brother Edward.
We are really close because what we probably other than obviously people who want to wholesale the book and selling at physical locations like when we're out at the table or something like that,
Yeah,
we should start thinking about some way to do pre-sales.
that's right. That's right. And I think the way that we can do it, brother Edwards, is that when we host workshops,
hmm
we could do a series of workshops using the workbook. That way, people purchase
hmm
the workbook and we walk them through each chapter as a.
that's
Yep,
great. Yeah,
yep,
that's great. So they register for the workshop. Part of the registration is the purchase of the book,
that is correct.
and then yeah, yes,
That
yeah.
is correct.
I think that would be fantastic.
And then we have a charge for the workshop.
Right.
But the book we're trying to keep as low as we can because we know that's an additional expense that they, um,
hmm
but we sell the workbooks when they register for the classes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Tariq. Saw you
Walaikum
pop on there.
assalam. How's everyone?
Doing
We're
good, Alhamdulillah.
wonderful. Did you get the email this morning from Brother Omar on the books of the 50, 30, 20 plan workbooks?
I probably did, but I hadn't checked it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's
So
be
so
good to go
forgive
through
me.
that. We're gonna discuss that this morning as soon as
Okay.
everyone's on.
All right. Let me look at that now, man. Is it something to be downloaded?
No, sir, it's
I
in
don't
the
think so.
email.
Oh, okay then. Okay, I won't. Okay, I'll just wait. Look at that.
Very exciting.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
there's a friend of mine who has been touting someone else's financial literacy courses, and online courses, and they're I think they do something almost every 2 weeks. And I actually listened into one of them, and the guy he's pretty good. I like what he has to say. But she basically said, you guys should talk to him about him doing something for your audience.
I
And
think I
then I
know the
sent it
sister that you're talking about. She sells oils.
something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's been telling me when I've been going to the Time to Be Grateful events,
Hmm.
and I have the brochures on Graceline. She
Yeah,
mentions this guy on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I sent her a bunch of the stuff that we did even 2 years ago when we were doing it. When Sister Amira was doing the
yeah,
intros and
yeah.
all that. I sent her a bunch of that, and then I sent her the stuff that we'd already done on 50, 30, 20 plan. And I said, well, you need to take a look at what we're doing, and then you need to cue yourself in on what we have coming. Haven't heard back from her since.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not like our ice is any colder than that, brothers. It's not
Exactly.
that. It's his ice is not colder than ours. You know.
Right.
So I wish him the best. But here we come. Yeah, that always amused me because another sister, a local sister here in Dallas, who we were at an Eid, well, I mean a Ramadan event, and she was asking me how credit union stuff was going. Talked about that a few minutes, and then she started pitching me on really what amounted to a multi-level marketing thing that a
Hmm.
brother in our community had started or gotten involved with. I don't know how high up any of them are in it. And I was like, there just isn't enough education in our community, financial education, that because there's another brother that I know and love who is in kind of a multi-level market thing, brother out of New York, older brother, pioneer brother, and they don't understand in those things of how little they're actually making for their efforts, of how selling the same products direct, they'd make more money. It just, I don't know, maybe they don't understand numbers. But it's just like with our books. If you're paying, if you're a producer, then wholesale is all that you should pay, and then it's on you to sell the product. Know your market. I just don't get it.
You muted yourself, email Edward, if you are still
Oh, I
talking.
had I had a coughing fit, so I had to. There's something floating around in the air down here that is, it's a menace at the moment. I was listening to. I'm a small, minuscule shareholder in Berkshire Hathaway. So yesterday, Buffett and the leaders of Berkshire Hathaway, the executive team, they had the annual meeting. And of course, at the end of the meeting, I don't know if you guys read this or not, but he said that he was planning to retire at the end of this year. But there's always a long Q&A with him every year, and he's just he's so incredibly smart, which is why he's the best investor that's in recorded history. He's the best investor that's ever lived, and why his company, which he controls, is sitting on 370 billion dollars in cash at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that he doesn't load himself down. And he doesn't allow the company to be weighed down with paper. And what I mean by paper is transactional paper of having to go through negotiation after negotiation after negotiation to buy one thing. That every time you signed and you thought you bought it, you're actually moving into another phase of the negotiation. It's a time waste and a cost waste, and you have to have multiple departments of your company to deal with this and that and the other. And he has maybe the most successful company in the history of the world without having a human resources department, without having a bunch of lawyers on staff, without having a bunch of CPAs. He has accountants, but he doesn't have like this whole department, accounting department, or this entire finance department, or any of those things. He has business people running business units with all of them having a great deal of autonomy to make decisions about their business unit that they run. And when they go buy something, if they go buy a business or invest in business, it takes, as he said, 5 to 10 minutes. And we're done. If we decide that that's where the money's going, it takes us 5 to 10 minutes and it's done. And part of that is because some of these contracts and things that are executed to make these things happen have already been approved, and they're what's the word? They're customary contracts. There's nothing special, put in place or any special provisions. Majority of the time, every now and then there are, but most of the time, if you want to buy a furniture company and you've agreed on the price, there's a sales document that says that you're paying $2 million for the furniture company, and everybody signs it. And you give them a $2 million check, and you go on the furniture company. And that's the way that he's done business for the most part since the 1950s. And other than the fact that he says he only does business with people that he likes, no matter how profitable their business is. And I know it's not as simple as he makes it sound, but I do agree with him in that if it takes you longer than 30 or 45 minutes to explain what it is that you do and how your company makes money, I wish you luck, but I think I'll pass. I don't want to do any business with you if it takes longer than that. You can't tell me in that period. And I just remember old guys in the oil field and stuff where I grew up, farmers, everything else, basically saying the same thing, different words. If it's that complicated, I think I'll pass. And I think people talk themselves into or get talked into situations where they want to appear to be very smart. And they nod along as people are using words that even the speaker doesn't understand. And they get themselves in situations they can't get out of. And they make no money, or they make very little money. Anyway, before I go running off, assalamu alaikum, Brother Adam. How are you, sir?
How's everyone?
We're doing well. Did you get Omar's email this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I didn't figure he said we'd talk about it, so
okay. All right.
We can talk about it. Who were you? By the way, who were you talking about when I went along again?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Yes, what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, because I watched
I
watched the annual meeting yesterday, and because he's retiring at the end of this year, he said.
He's retiring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's handing everything over to Greg Abel to be the new CEO.
Okay.
Yeah, of Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay. I guess it. All right. That was coming at a good time for him.
He's 94 years old.
Yeah, he ain't got to worry about the state of the world going in the future.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he's tired of. He did say in one of his statements that he was still going to probably show up at the office every day. It's basically what he does is come in and read. He reads like 8 to 10 hours a day. So I mean, they're not traders; they're owners of businesses. Berkshire Hathaway is, so it's not like he's got to be on the phone all the time making trades and all that type of thing. So he reads most of the time. But he said he did want to be around for just as kind of a sounding board, like in major situations. Back in 08, when we had the real estate meltdown, Berkshire Hathaway basically saved the banking industry. Their investment in Bank of America that allowed Bank of America to buy Merrill Lynch. Because Merrill Lynch was on the chopping block. It was either going to be them and forget the firm that eventually was allowed to go under. But Merrill Lynch was right there as one of the firms that the government was going to allow to fail and go out of business. And Berkshire Hathaway basically wrote the check that allowed Bank of America and Merrill Lynch to survive. And that's still why Bank of America is one of their larger holdings. They also, at the same time, for the government to spend money to save some other people, Berkshire Hathaway bought billions of dollars of United States treasuries at that time to shore up the United States financial situation so the government could bail out some other people. And of course, for that, they got not really, really, really nice return on investment. So it wasn't like they were giving money away. He's going to make money. But he said that just in case things went south again, that he wanted to be around to advise if Berkshire Hathaway had to step in and save the United States again. I thought that was a pretty telling statement, that's even in his mind.
shows you he sees a possibility again.
Oh, I know. That's what I took from
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Different times, brother.
Very different. Yeah. And quickly, because 08 is not that long ago.
No.
You know, when people are doing things that any second year, well, heck, really truly any first year business school student would know that you don't take that particular approach. The things that we were doing back in 08 with mortgages, ridiculous. The things that the Trump administration is proposing economically, ridiculous. It's not the direction, not that you don't try to negotiate better terms all the time. It's just the thoughtlessness of it, the depth of it, the lack of any idea of what the repercussions are. No numbers to back it up, no projections. Nobody can predict the future, but no projections, no idea, no understanding of the world, of how other people are going to react. I mean, countries that we had in our hip pocket that we could basically control their actions, they're now liberated from us. They're able to move on their own. They're empowered, and not to our benefit. It's just amazing.
Well, you know, greed is like a drug, brother.
I guess.
It's like a drug, and you look at dope things and decisions they make, and you wonder why they make those decisions. Well, the drugs is taking their good senses away.
Yeah.
And greed is like that. The greed is like that, brother. And you got a leader that operates on greed, and that's what he's doing. You know, and I was having a discussion with the Black Caucus. I said one thing that they're not considering is that we ain't going back there. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
I know. I told them local info. I'm not going back there. No, they're doing all kind of crazy stuff. So they're not considering that. So because they're not, who knows what's eventually going to be the reaction?
Right.
Right. Who knows eventually? And but they continue on. You know, I was on Facebook. We had a banquet for our weekend school. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and we got the mayor to write a proclamation recognizing Islamic Education Day. So you got this couple of people on Facebook criticizing. I'm using taxpayer dollars to fund that. You know, every year they do a Christmas tree at City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
How much that cost? I'm waiting on them to reply back because I'm gonna come out with both barrels on them. Easter celebration, how much that cost? And you complaining about maybe a 50-cent piece of paper that they printed this proclamation on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Come on, man. So
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy, man.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. I know we're waiting on some other folks. Let's go ahead and open up. Imam Tariq, will you open us up with the dua this morning?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Ameen. Okay. So, Assalamu alaikum, Sister Martha. How are you?
Alaikum assalam to everyone. Thank you, Edward. I apologize for my lateness here.
No, that's fine. So,
Alhamdulillah.
Brother Omar, I would say let's get right down to the business of the day, the positive business of the day, and that is the financial literacy document that you and Imam Talib have been working on, and now we know. Well, just go ahead. You take the reins and let us know where everything is.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Edward. And assalamu alaikum, everyone. This morning, I had an opportunity to talk with Imam Mutabashir, and he is going to help me finalize the cover for the paperback printing of the workbook. One is because publishers have a specific way they want things presented and oriented on documents. And for Lulu has specific requirements of where they want the ISBN number as well as the barcode that is placed on the back cover of the book. So Imam Mutabashir is going to help me finalize that placement of the ISBN number and the barcode. What he is waiting for us to get back to him on, as part of securing the ISBN numbers, there's some metadata that goes along that is associated with each of the ISBN numbers. I have all of the information in minus the cost of the book. That's the only thing that remains to be added to the database. And once we decide what that suggested retail price is, I can pass that along not only to Mutabashir, but fill in that information to the metadata database that is associated with the ISBN number, and then publish that. And then once that is published, the ISBN number is searchable, and you can then sell the books on Amazon, other types of platforms, and it becomes searchable when you can, your book becomes searchable as part of the internet. In addition to that, I did some research just to get my mind wrapped around publishing, self-publishing and the cost for that. And I did send out an email this morning in regards to that information. But it appeared to be reasonable to me, but I definitely would like feedback from everyone else. I'm just going to quickly go over the information that I shared in the email. And this is only based on Lulu, no other publishing, company or publishing platform. So the price for printing each of the books, if we just want to do a single book, would be $10.68 per book, plus $1.75 fulfillment fee. If we place an order of that is between 100 and 500 books, or 499 books, basically, we receive a 5% discount on each printing. And that reduces the printing cost to $10.15 per book. The shipping and handling, if we decide to have those books shipped to a specific address, then the shipping and handling for those bulk orders will be $73.19. So I was doing some research this morning about what would be good suggested retail price for these types of expenses associated with publishing your book. And also, Imam Mutabashir is going to pass along to me a pricing sheet that he has developed for his the work that he does in publishing and things. So we will have something to compare our discussion with to his price sheet. But what I was able to find is that a good suggested retail price for the Financial Freedom Workbook will be somewhere between $25 and $30. This includes all of the print and fulfillment costs from Lulu, as well as the shipping costs for each book, and then a desired profit margin between 20 and 30%. For the ebook, suggested price will be $10 to $13, and that's something that, as a group, we need to discuss and have some decisions on. Edward, that is the information that I have to share this morning, and I'm prepared to answer any additional questions or participate in the discussion moving forward.
All right, guys, get him up. Questions, comments, ideas. What do you guys think?
One of the things we had to consider is we don't have a fulfillment department. Order fulfillment. I know. I think with Amazon, one of the things you can do is have them do it, and I'm going to know what the requirements are for that.
And that may go back, Omar, to a question of minimum orders and having to stockpile books and things of that nature.
Yeah. So Lulu does fulfill your book. So if you do one, let's say you have an order for one book and it goes directly, that order goes directly to Lulu. Lulu can fulfill that order. It will cost $1.75 for them to fulfill, that order per book.
So the
shipping,
the potential person would order it through Lulu.
Yes, you can have them go directly to the Lulu site and order the book from the Lulu site.
Okay.
Yes, and it would be fulfilled there. They will pay shipping and handling. Everything will be taken care of on their site.
And if we wanted to have it on Amazon, what would that?
I'm still researching Amazon. Yeah, I'm still researching Amazon.
Okay, all right.
But Lulu also have this option where your order can be fulfilled through Amazon and similar platforms, but there's additional costs based on each platform agreement with Lulu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Why they would do that.
Yeah, and that's understandable, but that precludes us from having to put a price out there that doesn't cover everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, so they've already factored that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if we decide to order like we're going to an event, right, and we decide that we're going to order a bulk shipment and we have it shipped to a specific address, the cost does include in there the shipping costs for each book. For each book, if we decide to do the shipping, it would be $11 added on to the so let me say this: to publish the book is $12 across the board, $12 across the board, and then shipping. If we decide to handle the shipping, it would be $11. That's a flat fee if you use US the Post Service flat a priority shipping.
$11 additional dollars?
Yes, $11 additional dollars on top of the 12.
No. Suppose you want. Suppose I work in the event and I say, okay, Omar, I need to get 50 books.
Yep.
They would charge $11 per book to send me 50 books.
No, so we can get that shipped to the person from Lulu and pay the $73.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They're really trying to live up to their name, Lulu. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think for example, Tariq asked if he can get discounted bulk orders. If he gets that deal through us, he can go to the Lulu site, order the book at a specific discount, and then get it shipped to his address. He will pay that shipping and handling through Lulu.
Yeah, okay.
So this is also an opportunity for us to, I think, talk with Flipcards about, supposedly this is one of the things they can help us with as far as fundraising, is if we are selling something like this, and maybe being able to get them to help us do it through that site as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just looking at every potential low cost or no cost avenue for us that we can find to move the workbook. And obviously the more hands off that we can be, the better for us as well.
That's right.
I mean, we want very little handling of this. I would love for a majority of it, other than obviously events where we're going to have a table, or one of us individually is going to have some books on hand,
right,
workbooks on hand to sell, for it to be a seamless operation where we simply see wire transfers of money.
Yep. We can definitely set that up on Lulu. That can happen that way. And the other thing that Edward and I was discussing at the beginning of the call was that we can use this as another way that we can sell books is make it part of a workshop, financial workshop. And one of the requirements of participating in the workshop is the purchase of the workbook. And we move the participants through the various chapters of the workbook.
Mm-hmm. But we don't have to cover the whole workbook in the same session, right?
No, we do not. No, so it'd be a series of workshops that are offered, right. And as requirement of participating in the workshops, the book is a requirement. Let's say a required textbook of the course.
Yeah, Omar's idea is to have people register for the workshops, pay a fee for registering for the workshop, and if they're going to get the full benefit out of it, they need the book.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're gonna purchase the book, and then we decide, as a part of them being in the workshop, if they're going to pay full retail or if they're going to get a special workshop price or whatever. That still allows us to make money.
That's right.
Off of it. So I mean, all again, just fuel for thought. Because we also, whichever of these paths we go down, we also really need to think about a proper marketing strategy for marketing the workbook, a consistent, strong marketing strategy.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum, Imam Talib. I see you in in the group. I did not see you there before. I don't know how long you've been there, but assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, walaikum salam. I'm a little distracted this morning because I've got some contractors coming in tomorrow, working on 2 different floors, and one of them is my office, and I've got to get it cleaned out so that they can do their work. So I've broken. Usually I'm on with my computer, but now I've got to use my phone, and I've never done that before. So, I am a little distracted here. One thing I was testing out to see how my phone works with the chat. So what I was going to put in the chat is when you advertise the financial empowerment workshop, I would think it would be best if we were to set the fee to include the book, unless you were going to do some sort of preliminary workshop beforehand. Because the book is going to retail for what?
Well, that's also to be decided. I mean, Omar did
okay.
in the email. Omar placed a range in there based on conversations that he has had with other people who've been in the publishing business, and he's also
What was
looking at
that range?
Wasn't it? Is it 25 to $30? Yeah,
25 to 30.
Yes, for the paper book and 10 to 13 for the ebook.
10 to 13 for the ebook, and 25 to 30 for soft cover printing. Okay.
That's correct.
And is that black and white, or is it a color? Is the cover color and the text black and white?
That is correct. The cover is colored, and the inside of the book is black and white.
Okay. And black and white text. And what's the size of the book?
It's landscape, 8.5 by 11.
Oh, landscape. Okay.
Yes. And the binding is sparrow binding.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's a spiral binding?
That's right, like a tablet.
Okay. Okay. And they've given, who did you say was it? Was it Imam Bashir that you said gave you?
That is correct. Imam Mutabashir.
Right. Okay. So he gave you a price on.
Yes, he's gonna provide me a pricing sheet that he uses to compare with the discussion we're having. We have something to compare it with.
Okay.
Yeah. The man's name is Mubashir Ukhtar.
Yes, Imam Mubashir Ukhtar.
Mubashir Ukhtar.
Okay. Now one question. Okay, so you're estimating retail on a soft cover to be somewhere between 25 and 30. And if you were to do it as an ebook, you would charge anywhere from $10 to $13.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I've been bouncing this price off of people, showing them the workbook and saying, how much would you pay for this? So, people have been saying, I'll pay 25 for it, but
Right.
but looking at the cost, it's gonna be somewhere, our cost will land somewhere between $22, $28, just depending on how the book is purchased.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Were you given a minimum number on the soft cover?
So Lulu does not have a minimum number. What they do is that if someone orders one book, Lulu can fulfill that for you. It's $1.75 fulfillment charge. They have bulk orders as well, so you can order from a bulk. You do get discounts if you order from 100 to 499. There's a 5% discount on the printing cost. Anything below $100, you pay that $10.78 plus the $1.75 fulfillment.
You said 1078 and 175?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so that gives me some idea. 15 to. So just to produce one book is just under $13.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of gives me all right. $13. Okay.
Yeah, it's about $12 to produce a book, per book. And then you add on your shipping costs if you're going to ship it yourself, or you send the person to Lulu and they will pay that shipping cost from Lulu's website.
Okay. So one thing I will say, because I did hear using like priority mail through the post office, which can become a bit expensive with the prices rising the way they are. But if you were to ship it through the post office in a plain box, that is not using any of their priority boxes that they provide, it's a whole lot cheaper. So for example, they may have a 2-day priority using their box that might cost you, I don't know what the weight of the book is, but let's say it might cost you somewhere between $11 and $12 a book. You can ship that same book in a box that you provide and save anywhere from $4 to $6 in shipping. And the book will get there just as fast as priority.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Why are we paying for shipping?
Well, we wouldn't be.
But we
The
keep
shipping
talking about our cost is
could be
different.
included in the price. But I thought I heard you all say earlier that there was no interest in fulfillment.
Now, here's my question. I order stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If I pay the shipment, they say if you get it depends on how fast you want it, this is how much it costs.
Right.
I'm the purchaser, not the shipper. Or not the but I'm the purchaser.
Right.
I pay the shipping.
Right.
So why are we considering shipping as a cost if the person who orders it pays the shipping?
Yeah, it's not. It shouldn't be considered a cost to us. The only consideration for the producer on shipping costs is if it would be a deterrent to making the sale as a whole.
Right.
So,
I
which is,
understand. I understand that.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you just give them options.
Right.
I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. If there, I wouldn't even give them an option for priority mail. I would just say the post office, USPS, and
If,
well,
if they want to pay, if they want to pay it, let them pay it.
Yeah, right. So if Lulu's
I do it all the time.
If Lulu's handling it, why we shouldn't worry about it? If we're doing it through that methodology of allowing them to buy it through Lulu, they're dealing with Lulu, and people you're just going to deal with it. It's like buying from Amazon. Whatever Amazon rolls out, if you want it, you're going to pay the shipping costs. If we're having somebody deliver 100 books to us, and then I'm going to personally turn around and fulfill that stuff, that's a whole different ball of wax. I don't know why I would do that, but if I did decide to do that, then I would worry about that, and hopefully I would have it figured out before I ever accepted the 100-book order.
Mhm.
But I mean, that again, that's I'm not too worried about that. I mean, that's to me that is, let the buyer worry about that. And we should give them beginning. Let's say if we do decide to stay with Lulu, that's option one. Option two is the seminars that we're going to hold, and we're probably going to work that around where that fulfillment's through Lulu as well. If we reduce the price or somehow include the price, combine the seminar price with the price of the booklet and all that type of thing, maybe it reduces our profit a little bit and make them a special deal. I don't know. We need to look at all that. But again, if I don't have to touch it, but I still make money off of it, I'm pretty happy.
Mhm.
I just don't want to touch it. That's an extra step that doesn't make any sense unless it's a special occasion.
Mhm.
So let me ask Omar, does Lulu offer different delivery options?
They do. I have not looked that they have this platform that they call global distribution, and I have not dug deep into some of the restrictions, requirements into that global distribution on what it means to participate in that option of selling your books. But they have direct sale, which again is on their Lulu site, and then they have the global distribution. And I think the global distribution includes other book selling platforms like Amazon and some other platforms.
Okay. So just off the top of my head, I'm going to make the leap that for us to have them sell or market or whatever term you want to use across platforms doesn't cost us anything to make that happen, at least to get that process started. There might be some incremental cost here or there if there's action, if people are buying on those other platforms. But just to make those platforms available to us costs nothing. Would that make sense?
It does to start that process is what you are saying.
Right.
I do want to dig a little bit deeper into that global distribution a little bit more to kind of see what their requirements are.
Okay.
there may be some restrictions and requirements, based on who owns what. I saw something this morning where they were saying that the global distribution, that Lulu needs to be the publisher, right? They get the publishing rights. So I do want to dig in that a little bit deeper about what are the implications of them owning the publishing rights when you are selling on their global distribution platform.
Okay. So who's the publisher right now?
It is Graceline and myself.
Okay.
I have both great on the ISBN a website where you purchase the ISBN number. There's some metadata that is associated with it. I have listed both myself and Graceline as the publisher.
Okay. This is quite interesting. I've only read about this stuff before, about how you can lose your publishing rights and how long you might have to wait to get the publishing rights back to your material.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I want to read that very carefully. When I saw that, it kind of threw up red flags for me this morning. But I did not have enough time to kind of dig into it, kind of research it a little bit. But I definitely want to read that a little bit more. But the Lulu Direct platform, it does not matter who owns the ISBN number.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a lot, and it's really good. It's really good that it's a lot. Excellent. I'm glad that we're at this point with this at the moment. It's really good. So we need to start at least thinking about marketing of what vehicles that we would want to use to market this workbook. And then also, obviously, planning for the execution of the seminars. What time frame, what everybody's bandwidth is on this, start thinking about it at least when we might want to make that happen. Because I'm thinking once we kind of settle on whether Lulu's going to be the publisher or not, that the product is there, and at that point, they would simply be waiting for somebody to order a workbook.
Exactly.
Omar,
And the ebooks can be live on Graceline's website.
Right. Okay.
And we don't have to get Lulu involved in that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, Imam Talib, that Omar and I touched on a little bit earlier, maybe before you got on, is how we can involve Flipcause in this at all. I mean, they have this, I forget, what is it they call it? Campaigns. So if we have a campaign, and it's a fundraising campaign, because it's supposed to be a fundraising website provider of how we get them involved, how we make full use of them. So this might be a really good time to investigate that and using the ebook as a fundraising tool.
Right, and they should, and I think they do have the ability to fulfill an ebook request. So if someone pays for it, they would be able to fill it. I think I'm right about that. The other question I had, Omar, have you established the copyrights on this?
Not copyright, but I have, well, I have put in the book a copyright date, right? I have not gone onto the Library of Congress website and secured a copyright. That is something that I am researching and getting prepared to do.
Might I suggest that you stop everything and do that, because that is, in addition to the ISBN, that is going to establish your publishing rights first and foremost.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry so much about the Library of Congress catalog number, but I would be concerned about gaining that copyright, and making, and you'll be asked on the application to give a date when it was first published in any form.
Right.
So that allows you, for lack of a better phrase, to backdate it.
Okay.
It also will allow both you and Graceline to maintain ownership of the copyright.
Yep, no problem. Graceline will be on, just like with the ISBN registration, Graceline is on. Any registration of this product, Graceline will be included in the registration. But
yeah,
yes, that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah, I was in because that's what's going to establish your, and you can. I was real intrigued to learn that ISBN will now issue a single number.
Yep, that is correct. I
Yeah,
purchased two.
no,
Yep,
that's I mean, that's a good thing.
yep. You don't have to buy them in bulk anymore because you used to have to
Right,
buy
yeah,
them in tins.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When we first started publishing in '86, we had to get 99 numbers, and I still, up until maybe 6 months ago, we found out we still have those numbers, but they had to convert us over to their new system, which is, I guess, like digital or something. So now that's good to know that you can just have just register one piece of work. Okay, yeah, that can be a game changer for people,
Right.
that are trying to self-publish, self-publish something and have all of the, correct information in the book that booksellers want to see, because
Right.
that's how they locate your book.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
through that number. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I
Yeah.
bought two. One for the paperback copy,
Okay.
and one for the e-publication. Because
Okay.
each variation of
Right.
whatever
That's
it
right.
is you're publishing has to
Yeah.
have its own unique
Yes.
ISBN. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. If you have any questions about the copyright application, let me know.
Okay, will do.
And when you submit it, you will have to submit samples.
Okay.
I think they want, if I remember correctly, I think they want at least 2.
Okay.
And they're not returned.
Okay, no problem. And what I'll do too is I will make sure that everything that is registered, that Adam has a copy for his files of everything the ISBNs, any copyright information that he has, so that Graceline has the information. Just in case, none of us are promised the next day. So just in case something, happens, Graceline has the information.
Right. Good. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. And my office is a bit in disarray right now. If I can get to, I just had a copyright file. While this is still going on, if I can put my hands on I just saw it, a recent copyright application. I did the copyright application for, I can't think of the sister's name. They produced the 2-volume set of Sister Clara Muhammad, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Are you all familiar with that?
Yes, I am. I can't remember the sister's name either, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, no.
I had both copies. I had both volumes. Yeah.
Right. Well, I did the copyrights. I did the copyright application for them, and I just saw it when I was cleaning up, moving stuff around in my office. If I find it before we get off this call, I will. I'll just mention some other things that are not coming to mind right now, unless I'm actually looking at the application itself. But alhamdulillah, no, that's going to give you all of the publishing rights that that you want to maintain, and you're correct in wanting to take a closer look at doing anything globally, because there are a limited number of platforms that you can get on that offer a fair rate exchange, when you're selling in a foreign country. So okay, but yeah, that's all that I had right now. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so plans of action regarding this? What do you guys think as far as next steps? And we're excluding Omar because I think Omar knows pretty much the things that he's doing next as regards to the booklet. But what about the rest of us? What are ideas on things that we can do? I think Imam Talib, you might be excluded as well, because I think with what you just spoke about, dealing with that, if you pull that information together, that would be immediately helpful.
I agree. If Imam Talib can help me with the copyright information, that would be very helpful. Because the publishing stuff, I'm still trying to work through, Imam Talib. So if you can help, since you have already some knowledge and grounding in the copyright, that would be extremely helpful for me.
Okay. All right. Inshallah, I'll pull it up, and I'll pull it up, and I don't. Yeah, I can walk you through that. It's not that complicated. It's making sure we get the right copyright form, which is in your case is going to be, or in this case is going to be a TX form for text.
Okay.
And it'll ask you specific questions. It's just front and back page. And you make the claim. It's not a work for hire. So it's not like you work for Graceline and we had you put this together. Yeah, if in fact, if you give me a moment while the meeting continues, my memory can be better refreshed if I actually look at the form itself. So
Okay.
You all go ahead and talk. I can still hear,
Okay.
but I want to go and look for that actual form.
Okay. And ma'am, Adam, when everything is finalized and it's to it, it's done and completed, and we don't need to do any more iterations or edits to the documents, I will put this in a file for you and send it over to you so that Graceline has a permanent record of not only the book, but the process that we went through to do this. So just in case we need to do this again, all the information is there on how we did this first kind of process.
And since we're also talking about protecting, I have all of our stuff in a digital file. It's on the cloud, and I don't know how to share that with someone or give access to that. Maybe I need to talk to somebody more technical than I am, because I don't want it to be a dead end, in terms of being able to access that with records. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right.
As far as the cover, Omar, we have just the one cover that has kind of been approved or decided upon, and I only ask that in light of one of the things that a couple of people that I know when they're publishing new books is that they'll like pose maybe 2 or 3 potential covers and put them out there and kind of let people pick and choose which one of the 2 or 3 that they think to go with. It's kind of a very subtle way of advertising something. But if we've already, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say if we only have the one, I don't want to create any additional work, and I don't know how hard or easy it would be to create competing covers, even though there's no competition. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If like if we know which cover we're using, we're not going to change that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's possible to create using Canva or something, Adobe, whatever, a couple of competing covers that we can, because I would do it on across social media, Instagram and everything else, is put them out there and have people vote on which of the 3 covers we should use.
Yes. So we have one cover. Imam Mutabashir did not create any additional covers for the book, but we do have that one cover. If I can get permission to share my screen, Edward, I can definitely show. And I will email that out to everyone too, the cover. But he's still working on the cover because we need to add the barcode and the ISBN number to the back of the cover.
Okay, you should have co-host.
Okay.
Duty set.
Let me share my screen real quick. Sure I'm on the right. Nope, not on the right screen. Let me see here. Can everyone see that?
Not yet. I'm just
Not
seeing.
yet. Oh, it says paused. You stop sharing. Let me try it again. Share. Okay, here we go. Did everyone see that?
Yes, I do see
Okay.
that.
So that is the cover. So the one on the left will be the back cover, and the one on the right will be the front cover.
Okay. Okay. And I think we had seen something of the front cover
Yes.
before.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So and I have nothing against our logo. Does our logo have to be that large there? Or am
It
I
does.
simply seeing a distortion?
No. Let me see if I can enhance this. I mean, I can get Imam Mutabashir to reduce the logo, but I did want it to have, the Graceline logo kind of prominent,
Okay.
so that, Graceline name is, the logo is recognizable, and people know that this is a Graceline product.
Okay. What does everybody else think? Am I just being too nitpicky?
But Edward, I can send this out to everyone today, right after the meeting, so
Okay.
that people have a time to sit with it, kind of look at it, and provide feedback. We still have plenty of time, right?
Okay.
We're not in a rush here to get this book, out in the public.
Okay.
So we can take our time. The hard part is over with. Getting the
Okay.
information created, trying to get
Right.
it formatted correctly, that type of stuff is pretty much done. It's just
Okay.
tighten up a little bit of pieces around the placement of some of the required elements when you are publishing a book, and then getting the Graceline group to agree to the cover. If the cover works, do
Mhm.
we still need to do some adjustments there? Pricing structure, does that work for everyone? Do we still need to do additional research around, what would be an appropriate price point? Those are things that we still can have some continuous conversations with. And I can send this out to people today so they can sit with it. And then perhaps maybe next week we can have, maybe close the loop on the cover. If the
Okay.
cover works, we can close the loop on that and still have conversations around the pricing structure until we feel comfortable with what the price should be.
Works for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing so that we can
Okay.
continue with the meeting.
Okay, Imam Tariq.
Yes, sir.
With what you've heard today as far as cost structures and different things like that, how does this fit with what your thoughts were the week or two prior when we were discussing this about doing some wholesaling? What do you think about it? What do you think the impediments would be, advantages, so on and so forth, to someone who, well, I mean, you wanting to do something like
Everything is good.
that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I mean,
Everything is good.
you have a good understanding of the price structure and all of that if you wanted to incorporate it into your work.
Yes, sir. I think so.
Okay. All right. Because I'm gonna pitch it to some other people who also like to do this particular type of thing, as far as have the books in their possession and sell the books, for example. So if there were any things that, because I haven't done it before, I'm just trying to prepare myself for what arguments they may have or criticisms or whatever that I might have to be able to answer. Okay.
That would be good to have that feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, okay. Anything else regarding this particular booklet that anybody has questions on? I know we're still waiting on Mom Tyler to get back with us on one aspect of the kind of the legal part of all this stuff. But anybody else have any questions or anything for Omar in particular? Okay. Thank you, Omar. Fantastic work. And I know you didn't do it alone, but I'm going to
No,
give
I
you most
did
of the
not. It
credit.
took a lot of people.
All right. So meeting's open. Is there anything that anybody has that feels like we need to deal with this morning? Okay. Imam Talib, can you hear us at least? And he may not be
Yeah,
able
I
to
can.
respond.
I
Okay.
hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there anything on your mind that we need to touch on this morning outside of what's already been discussed?
I mean, at this point, I would say no. I mean, I still have the I still have the issues that I know I need to perform. This will also, and one of those would allow me to add, one of those being flip cards, would allow me to just make a general inquiry of them relative to the ebook.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually, and what I'll do whenever I've contacted flip cards, I always copy us on the email, but when they respond, even when they're telling me that, they've posted what I've asked them to post, they don't reply all. So you may get an email with those things that I've requested of flip calls or asking them questions about. But once they respond, I'll have to forward you their response. Because I've noticed the last couple of times that I've sent something to them, they have not hit reply all. So you all had no idea. You got my inquiry, but you didn't get theirs. So I will be mindful of that. But no, I don't have anything else. I will stay in touch with Omar, not only in reference to the copyright, but also with the ebook. And that is how you can sort of restrict its use. Once you've sold it to one person, that person doesn't turn around and share it with other members of their family, or without compensating us in some way.
And that's just with the ebook itself, right?
That's just with
I
the
mean,
ebook.
right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
just with the ebook. And I did speak to my wife about it, because we have a brand new publication that that we released a couple of weeks ago. And I remember one of the processes that we went through were dealing with different companies until we settled on one which will allow us the maximum amount of protection, from people being able to share the book with others, without paying, because our price point, for this book is much higher, because it's more of a masterclass book, that comes embedded with 15 videos, at $149 each. So I do recall part of the conversation, with my wife about this relative to this ebook. And one of the things that she suggested is, and I'll provide us with the language, but one of the things that she suggested was just a uh, a notation, coming from us that, requests that they not share it. And she was recommending it if the price point is not that high, one, and two, whether or not it was more important for us, for people to have the information than not, because even if this particular book is shared, I'm of a mind that people are going to want to come to us for more information. Um, and of course, that'll be our opportunity to offer to them whatever seminars or classes that we do have, um, where there will be a fee associated with it for their attendance. So the long and short of it is, it may not be a big deal. I just want us to know what options may be available to us. And it'll all be on me. I'm not asking anyone else to look into this. I've already started looking into it. I'm just trying to get a clearer, a much clearer picture of of the research, that my wife has done on this. So other than that, no, I don't have anything else, and I'm admittedly distracted, because I got these contractors coming in tomorrow. So, inshallah. All right, but that's it for me.
Okay. Omar, is that a question that can be put to Lulu
We
about that
have,
sharing?
so I can ask that question not only to Lulu, but I can also ask that to Imam Mutabashir, and see what he can share with me in regards to that. Uh, we did add language to the inside title page that have some legal language around restriction of copying electronically or otherwise any information in the book,
Right.
unless it's being quoted for educational purposes or quoted for marketing purposes. Outside of that, they will
Right.
need to reach out to Graceline, is what I put there. They need to reach out to Graceline for permission to be able to
Written
use
permission.
written
Right.
permission to
Yeah.
be able to use the book outside of what is stated above.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Excellent.
Mhm.
All right. I'm being educated in the publishing world.
Yeah, man. Look, after I think this is our first ebook, but it is we have four previous publications, and we acted as our own publisher. We did self-publishing. We even had a major publication house that wanted to reprint an old book, and when they found out we were working on a new book, they requested the opportunity to present us with terms, but we ultimately rejected them, and in that rejection, we got into some preliminary legal matters where I threatened to sue them, Simon and Schuster, if they were to use our title. In fact, they used the title, and I was unaware of it until a bookseller called and asked about it. And when I found out, I went to investigate it myself and gave them the ISBN number, my ISBN number, and our book title came up. I gave them the other ISBN number, and the same title came up. Neither book had been released, but I got back in touch with Simon and Schuster and threatened to sue them, and they backed off. So, and that's how Oprah Winfrey's hairstylist, I think his name is Andre Walker. He was with Simon and Schuster, and they tried to use our title for his book. The title for our book was Let's Talk Hair. We've probably sold, I think, maybe 25, 30,000 of them across the country, around the world. Both of these books were being published around the same time, but Andre Walker changed his title to Andre Talks Hair. But it was, so when you talk about being in the world of publishing, when you decide to self-publish, it can be brutal, particularly if you show any sort of success. And being a Black publisher too, man, I could tell y'all some stories that would make your head spin. I got 10,000 free copies of one of our books because a book printer out of Florida purposely I don't even know how to phrase it. They purposely printed our book with such poor quality and then had it delivered in casing in book casings that were in cardboard boxes that weren't designed to carry the weight of the books that they did. So when I went to pick up the books from Dulles Airport, I would tell you the majority of the boxes were open. The books were, I mean, you know, some of the books were completely damaged. Long story short, they never got paid. And this was a reprinting. We had to go back to go to another printer. Some of the books we could salvage, but we had to go through each book one by one in order to salvage them because they had done such a poor job on the printing that you might look and see a blotch, just a blotch of ink on top of, photographs. And these were high quality photographs. I mean, the book I'm speaking of now ended up in the Smithsonian Institute's African American Museum of History and Culture. But I'm listening to the things that Omar is presenting to us, and you all can't see me, but I'm kind of giving the side eye, because I've had these various experiences, but I realize things have changed. So the experiences I had were between 1986 and our last publication was 2000. So it's been a couple of decades since we've done anything like that, and now our next book is an ebook. We do plan on publishing an actual book, particularly for our seniors, because they're not as computer savvy, but they want the publication. So anyway, I'll do the things I need to do on this end. Omar, I'll be in touch, inshallah. And in fact, I can, what I'll attempt to do, can you give me some time? I would tell you no more than a week, because my office is going to be in disarray for a couple of days before I'm actually able to sit down and focus on this copyright piece and anything else I might have for you.
Yes.
But if you don't hear from me in the next 48 to 72 hours, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just
No, I get it.
trying
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Okay.
See,
Thank you.
Imam Mutabashir was equally as busy, and he made time, to work into his schedule this
Right.
process.
Right.
And he has been extremely helpful. He has not charged a whole lot of money to format, and edit, because he had to redo a lot of the tables, and the invoice he sent me was a lot less than what I thought it was going to be. So he has been extremely helpful to this effort.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get on it, but for this renovation I've got going on, I wouldn't even be having the conversation. I may have been already able to put my hands on it. But but right after Fajr, I spent I spent at least the next 2 hours moving stuff in my office, and I'm still not finished. So I'm getting ready to get back to it. But that's it. That's it for me.
But Tyler.
Yeah.
But Tyler. Just give you a heads up, man. The book you donated to the museum is on the way back to you.
Yeah, I heard. Yes, sir. Yeah, they've already told me it's gonna come back with a magazine.
It's coming back, man.
Oh man, yes, sir, absolutely. I thought as much. Yeah, they got a looping video up there, and a couple of our products and stuff. So that I'm anticipating it all come back. I just hope it all comes back at the same time.
Just in time. Right?
Look, and I don't know what they're going to do. That's going to be real interesting since you mentioned it, because they curated some other things from us. So that's not all they have. But I guess it's going to be somewhat useless now, because the reason that they curated it is because from time to time they plan to change the displays, for some of the things they have in there for those that may have other material.
Right.
So when they came up to look through what we had, they got more from us than just what's displayed. So I guess at some point they're going to decide to send all that back too.
Man, probably so. Insane, brother.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. But I was reminded, because this is happening so much. I kept thinking about Richard Pryor. He had a line back on one of his albums when I think he was playing the role of a junkie, and he said something to the effect of keep on telling me some of those lies of yours to keep me from thinking about the truth. And I don't know if you all ever watched what was his name? Al Pacino. I think he played Tony Montana in Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
He had a line in there where he said, "I always tell the truth, even when I lie." So we are faced with that, with those comedic and cinema lines right now. I mean, right now. So, but
yeah,
but Allah is Akbar.
yeah.
So I'm going, like any good whist player, I'm gonna play the hand I'm dealt. Now, let's just see where this goes. All right.
All right. Anything, Adam? Are you done with the extended filing season yet, or is Monday or
May 1 was the last day?
okay? All right.
Yeah.
So you've been able to take a little bit of a breath since the first? A little bit? But that was only Thursday though, so
let me take this breathing tube off. Let me take this breathing tube off long. Brothers, I'm selective in whose returns I do, so I don't, work as hard, but I'm doing one as we speak. Only because the Yemenite brother tell me he needs it so he can go visit his son.
Tell him pack everything he owns, because he may not be coming back.
Might not come back.
I'm just saying, that is one of the targeted countries. They're not letting a whole bunch of Yemenis come to the United States. In fact,
No, no.
they may be over the quota already.
Yep. What can you say, bro? But alhamdulillah, it's been a good season. Thank Allah that I was busy, had something to be busy about, you know.
Right. Yes. Yep. I'm with you. I am with you. All right, gentle people. Oh, are we gonna do anything tomorrow night? Collective conversations? Do we have any? Do we have a guest? Anybody come up with a guest? I guess not.
Let me work on one for next Monday.
Okay. All right. For
I was talking
the
about
12th.
the man.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me get with him and see if he's going to be available.
Okay. All right. Good. So, all right. So if there's nothing else, Mom Adam, will you close us out this morning?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Oh Lord, give us the best benefits in this life and the best benefits in life to come, and save us, oh Lord, from the torment of the hellfire. Amen.
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 Alhamdulillah.
All right. Everyone go enjoy this beautiful day. And I look forward to hearing all the cheerful voices and seeing your faces soon.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.